do it.
Okay,
I
you know
don't
what?
watch a band unless Tawny Kitane's in the
I
video.
think I'm
guy.
taking back my fail on the
Nicely done. Nicely done, Cyrus. You've won back your penis. It's 3 episodes in now to the new season. It airs every Sunday on Adult Swim. But you can go to the Adult Swim website on Friday, and that's when they post it. So you can watch it online, or you can watch it on the big screen. Or that's David Bowie. Actually, it is. That's one of the best. They get people to do cameos, if you will, like the David Bowie is in it.
It's not really David Bowie.
It's not
Bowie's
really
voice.
David Bowie. It's not really his voice. I'm talking about like the character.
Yeah.
The animation is David Bowie, and his bodyguards are Iggy Pop
And Klaus Nomi.
and Klaus Nomi. And that's I mean, it's just the level of meta almost gets to a level where your brain just starts to throb and explode.
I would say I envy the people who haven't watched it yet because they have a huge treat in store for them
Yeah.
should they decide to do it.
I actually didn't like it the first time I saw it. And,
Which almost got you not invited here.
Yes, it's true.
I wanted to say something about Metalocalypse because that was a show that, like, in the first season it was on. I was like, what's a good idea? But these shows aren't really that funny.
It's so good
and,
now.
and the second season it clicked for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I love this show now. And okay, Metalocalypse is coming to town. Like they've been, Adult Swim has been advertising. Metalocalypse is touring. They're coming to your town. They're coming to Austin on the 7th. I'm excited, but I don't know. But I'm curious
So wait, cartoon characters are coming to Austin?
to play a concert. Right.
Cartoon
It's
characters
actually
are coming...
it's Brendan Small, the guy who does most of the voices and writes Metalocalypse. He's got a band, and they play Death Clock songs.
Right,
So
that's
they're
what it is. I was on the verge of buying tickets, and a friend of mine texted me today. He said, my brother went to the show. It's basically a band that has video screens of playing the cartoons behind them. And I'm like, oh, well then
It's the
I'll
Gorillaz.
just watch the TV show.
Yeah, it's Gorillas.
So for a minute there, you were like, wow, that's awesome. They're
Yeah.
coming to my town. There's
Yeah.
going to be cartoon characters there.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to hook up with the drummer.
No, wait a minute. Before you insult me, I knew it wouldn't be cartoon characters. I was just curious
It's
about
just
what
like
they
I
would
felt
do.
when the Justice League on Ice came in 1978.
You mean that
That's
wasn't
not
really,
Aquaman!
that wasn't really the Justice League?
Hawkman's wings are fake!
Shit, man, I've held on to my poster book for
Leon's like, so it's like Cool World or something? They like come out?
It's like Cool World, except it doesn't suck in the least.
Talk about fantasies. All right, so we're going to read a few letters here from our spillions.
I prefer Spildos. But okay.
Ooh, that's good.
Bildos.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they'll love that.
And Cyrus's sexual maturity level
Yeah.
shows itself
Yeah,
rearing
and-
its ugly head yet again.
Cyrus plays dumb like he doesn't have at least 6 of them.
Dildo?
One of them is secretly named Conan. I think we all know that.
No, the anal ones they don't call.
It's a hobbit,
I mean,
Cyrus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dildo is a hobbit. It's all right.
Oh, you mean like from Board of the Rings?
Exactly.
Okay, I
Dildo bagging.
I get it. Kimura-triangle? I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah. Here's the
Your name is Kinemura, and I believe the chemical symbol for boron.
She writes, can Bo be quiet for 10 seconds? No, she writes, here's a question for you and Leon, hopefully to talk about in Leog, crosses fingers. We know that as well as comic book geeks, both of you are big TV geeks.
Yes,
that
we
being
are.
said, my question is, what do you think of the series Dexter, as well as Michael C. Hall's acting in general? Do you think he has a future in the realm of the big screen? I'm going to start this off and say, I think Dexter is one of the best shows in television in the last decade. It's just, what's going on? Where is it? 2 seasons that were astonishing, as well as the best intro sequence of any TV show I've probably ever
absolutely.
seen. I mean, I it's one of the only shows I don't fast forward past the intro sequence because it's just so genius. But no word on a 3rd season. Nothing. I mean, I don't know. I think you watched, I showed you 1 episode.
Yes, I have seen 1 episode. I've seen the first episode, which you showed me. Thought it was brilliant, and I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the first season. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say I haven't watched it, and our other guest Grant has given me the other seasons on a DVD. It's just that I haven't got around to watching yet. But although now that all the other shows in reruns, I'll have that chance. The TV show that anybody asks me my favorite show, I say The Shield. But the show that I thought was the greatest show to ever be on television was 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
Which Michael C. Hall was a big part of.
Yeah.
So I have all the respect in the world for him.
I have actually watched the first season of Dexter, and I'm just waiting for the second season to come out on DVD to watch that. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't go so far as to say I loved it, but boy, as far as just being a fun show to watch, it is. The thing is, he takes and makes a antisocial psychopath likable.
Yeah. How hard is that?
Which is really, really hard because, I mean,
Thomas Jane couldn't do it?
Well, yes.
Thomas Jane can't do shit.
Thomas Jane couldn't
I just want my kids back.
If I gave Thomas Jane my shoes to shine, I'd come back and look at him like, dude, I totally still can't see myself in them.
I think I saw him at Antone's the other day trying to shine shoes.
But the crux of the series is that Dexter's a man who cannot feel any real emotion. I mean, as far as the having a girlfriend or enjoying his job or having a real relationship with his family, and yet he puts on the pretense of doing all three of these things and does it so well he fools his coworkers, his girlfriend, and his family.
And yet, this is the whole start. He's a sociopath, right? And he wants to do this because his dad, whose adoptive dad, figured out early on, this kid, he's a good kid, but he's got this psychological damage. He can't feel anything. He's got no real feelings, and he likes to hurt things. If I can channel this into something productive, his dad's overconfident. I'll channel it into something useful. Realize the only way that's going to happen is have him kill bad guys, essentially.
And his dad's a cop, and he's a cop who has felt his hands tied by the system.
I'm sure CPS smiles upon that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as silly from the outside as it sounds, they really sell it. And then the second season, which you haven't seen yet, puts an entirely different spin on the situation. Lots of backstory we didn't know about and stuff about his character and his relationship with his father and his sister.
I'm waiting for that to because that was, if there was anything lacking in the first season, it was, like I said, it was a lot of fun, but there were some things I found unbelievable about the whole workings of the main plot device, which is that he is channeling his baser instincts because of the love for his father, but yet he's not really supposed to be able to love anybody. So I had a little bit of a problem with that.
That's like it's like the old thing from the old Star Trek TV show where Spock was supposed to have no emotions, and yet ever so often
he would cut somebody to pieces and bury them in the swamp.
He'd get a little angry about things. And it's like, hey, dude, what's with the emotions? Hey, you were sarcastic right then. That's mean. That meant that you had an emotion about it. What's that all about?
That's that human side coming and fucking with you.
Oh, yeah.
Bones dancing around him.
Human side.
Spock's a human. Spock's a human.
Now, Grant, now, our other guest, Grant, he's also an expert on Dexter.
Yes.
I'd like to hear what he has to say
Grant
about it.
on this, because Grant actually has something to say about this that I didn't know.
Oh, well, I think that Dexter is just an amazing show. Michael C. Hall, Leon.
Weird Science's Michael C. Hall.
Sorry, Leon turned me on to watching Michael C. Hall in 6 Feet Under, and it was just absolutely brilliant in that show. And then seeing him transform into this serial killer, a lovable serial killer in Dexter, he's really amazing. And
Okay, I knew all that.
yeah, the first season was brilliant. I mean, you kind of see where the twist is, and at least they don't try and lead you on with it. They show you what the big twist is halfway through the season, and so
Well, that's good.
yeah, you're not like, come on, what the fuck? I know what's going on. But the second season, I had no idea where they were going to go with it, and they took a really smart turn with it that really had me going, whoa, I wonder what's going to happen.
See, that's what I love to hear.
Yeah.
Is that with the second season, there's going to be an evolution and things are going to go someplace that you don't expect.
You start thinking you know where it's going. In
Yeah.
fact, you start thinking, wow, is this kind of playing out like the first season did? And then it just kind of goes a completely different direction.
They really lead you to believe that he doesn't feel emotion. I mean, he constantly says it, but his actions contradict it constantly through it, so that you kind of you can understand and really empathize with a person who supposedly, if he has no feelings, you can't empathize with him. And that's what's really brilliant about it, I think.
Yeah, because by the end of the first season, you're going exactly that. You're going, well, supposedly he keeps insisting he has no feelings, and yet he acts like a completely empathetic man who's got strong empathy for people, really. It's just that he's addicted to actually killing bad people.
He's a superhero who kills bad people.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Yeah.
You know, he's so good at it that you
Thomas
kind
Jane
of
is
admire
Dexter.
him for his skill and his cleanliness and his professionalism about it. You know,
Did you just admire a serial killer for his cleanliness?
it's not the first time.
I know it
It's
happens.
extreme OCD.
You know what? I was in a discussion with some friends with one guy. He was talking bad about Hillary Clinton, and I was just like, "Well, dude, I mean, look at Hitler. You know, he's the history's greatest monster, but he took a little shithole country and he almost ruled the world. On some level, you have to admire that." And the table got quiet, and the room dropped 20 degrees. Like, really, nobody can like
And the
divorce
ghost of
themselves
Hitler
from it?
came up and said, "You're a dick, Leon."
I choose you, Leon.
All right, so let's take that moment to move on to the thing that this was not a question from anyone, but God knows Leon and I have been dying to talk about it since we started doing these, which is our favorite TV show. Will you get me a beer? Thank you.
Thank you, Alfred.
But our favorite TV show is Lost.
Yes.
We love this show.
Love
and I
Lost.
know some
Is
of you
amazing.
who started with the show in the first season.
There's
like,
no love lost
So
between me and
excited
Lost.
about that show in the first season. We all were. We're like, damn, the show is good. And then the second season started, and we're all excited. And nothing happened.
Whoa.
Nothing happened. And then, for a change, nothing happened. And we were a little on the disappointed. I
Oh,
mean,
look, more characters that we don't give a damn about.
it's not that it wasn't well written in and of itself. It's just that no questions are being answered. Nothing is changing.
Well, basically, the first season was so good that the second season was like, what is this? You guys are stepping backwards. We got a chance for a whole year to fall in love with these characters you hate at first, and you find out their backstory, and then you love them. The first season was all about that. It was all about don't judge a book by its cover. Then we get brought in a bunch of new people, and it's like when you're at work or any kind of situation when they dump a bunch of new people on you, you're like, look, I already know these guys. I've already had my friend group. I don't give a shit about these new people. I don't want to know them. But you had to deal with it.
And they were annoying. As
They were
hell.
annoying.
Michelle Rodriguez, really?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Mr. Echo was awesome.
I wish
Mr.
that-
Echo was the one
Sure.
good one, and he
I
was
wish
the
they would
only
bring
one.
Because he was
Michelle
at
Rodriguez.
BC from Oz, and
He was the
amazing.
only
Yeah,
one
exactly.
who signed a limited contract. The guy who played that role, Mr. Echo, whose name is unpronounceable.
I
wish they would. I wish they would bring Michelle Rodriguez back so that they could kill her
Again, I know.
and again
right?
and
well,
again.
the thing
and
is
again.
about that show is like I pointed this out to Grant early on before they even like Matthew Fox like made an announcement about it. But everybody on that show, every actor who's got a DWI or DUI
Yeah,
while
they're
on
gone.
Hawaii has been killed off.
Yeah, including a character
That's
that I
what's-
wish they hadn't. Hurley's so-called girlfriend. They're like got him a girlfriend for
Libby.
2 episodes, Libby.
Libby,
oh,
yeah.
and then
And
killed her
showed
off.
how she figured into his past.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, bam, you're dead.
Yeah,
Because
DWI.
Michelle Rodriguez and Libby both got that DWI, and then all of a sudden they decided to kill him off and call the episode 2 for the Road. Genius.
That's awesome. I didn't realize
that is.
But yeah,
funny stuff.
Adam BC or Mr. Echo, he got a DWI, and
Well, he didn't get it.
No, he said he only wanted to work on it for 1 year.
He was contractually
Maybe.
obligated. to
I
only
understand that, but he still got a DUI while he was
and,
there.
and he has gone on to huge things.
They're in Hawaii.
He
How
should
can
be
you
Black
not get a
Panther, though.
DWI?
That's true. Like
He
somebody was
would be
telling me
an
how fucked up
amazing
the
Black
roads were
Panther.
there.
I mean, you live in paradise. Why can't you drive drunk?
Yeah, I don't want to hear any more about this.
Black
Like,
Panther should either be him or the other black guy whose name I can't pronounce.
Chiwetel
It's awesome.
Ejiofor.
That's the
oh my God, he
I
would.
love
okay,
that guy. He's awesome. Either one of them. I want to see a Black Panther movie, but
Ejiofor-
that's neither here nor there.
who have they been talking about for doing the Black Panther?
They haven't been talking about anybody.
Yeah.
They've been
It's-
talking
it's
about
been-
Luke Cage movies.
it's
I
been
mean,
bound-
John
oh,
Singleton's
yeah.
like he does with every property that vaguely involves black people, raising his hand. Oh, Mr. Carter! In the back of the Hollywood classroom. I want to make it.
And then I think Clint Eastwood should make the Black Panther movie.
Well, I was going to say, John Singleton is able to get these because he's like, look, it's either going to be me or Spike Lee, who's easier to work with.
Like, yeah. Spike Lee will just, like, right the day of release, piss off everybody by saying something totally obnoxious and unfair.
I'm really ready for Clint Eastwood to give Spike Lee an epic ass beating.
Yeah.
I just really, I mean, yeah, he's 70, but Could he take Spike Lee? I think so.
Oh, Spike Lee would totally be running and hiding, crying under the Lakers
Right.
bleachers.
Anyway,
See, that's what I would expect a white boy to say.
Yeah, well, you know.
Shouldn't have had a point. He shouldn't have
did?
picked on Clint Eastwood. It was the wrong way to say it, as usual with Spike. It's just, he picks these inappropriate
it's not that
times.
He's totally wrong.
He's
It's
not
just
totally
that
wrong.
He's such an opportunist that it's annoying and you want to
Exactly.
smack him. But anyway, let's get back to Lost.
Back to Lost.
As we were saying, people might get confused because we're like, best show on TV, but the second season sucked, and
Yeah,
we never moved on
really,
from that.
the third season starts, every character from the second season is killed off. You're like, well, what was that about? You could totally skip the second season. And I would tell people that. You know what? Just skip it. And yet, by the time you get to the end of the third season, you're like, no. You need to watch that second season.
Yeah.
And there's a big payoff. Okay, you'll suffer through it, but by the time you get halfway through through the third season, it's going to start to pay off. And by the fourth season, oh my God, does it pay off?
The third season, right off the bat, to me, was better. I started enjoying it right off the bat better. And while it's still slow, and you're like going, come on, guys, what's going on here? Let's speed it up. It's definitely better than anything happening in the second season.
Well, the
But
fourth
then about
season.
halfway through, it's like, boom, they're back on page. And they're back on
And they
here's
didn't
some-
lose it since.
No,
I
they
mean, it's just
haven't.
been every episode's
And
a winner.
the fourth season just ended recently, and I got to tell you, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think it could be the single best season of television I've ever seen.
There's like a couple Kate episodes which you can skip.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
other than
true.
that, it's incredible.
There's a Kate episode, which is, it's not bad, it's just like not important. And then there's
Right.
a Claire episode, which isn't bad, it's just not that important.
They're just filler episodes.
But the whole rest of the season is like edge of your seat. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And anyone who ever doubted that these guys knew what they were doing the whole time, there you go. They totally did because
Yeah.
it's all so organic.
You only
There are
doubt it
so
because you
many
haven't been
answers.
watching it.
Yeah, and the reason it happened, the reason there is that slow season is because the first season was such a hit, and the studio said to them, "Guess what? We can't tell you when this is going to end. We don't know now. And
So drag it out as
but,
long as you
Yeah,
can.
they said stretch it out, come up with another storyline. That's why there's all the tail end survivors in the second season. They developed all these other storylines for, and why it slows down because this was never part of the plan. But now they've gotten themselves set where they said, okay, look, you need to give us the definitive date, and they do. There's 2 more seasons, and that's it, and that's perfect.
So 2 more after this one.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
more
I
after
wasn't sure
this.
if it was 2 or 3.
No, 2 more after this, and that's it. And we're gonna see. I mean, assumably, more like we've seen in the 4th season, the second half of the
You
third,
made up
because
a
now
word
they
there.
know everything that's going to
Cyrus
happen.
made up a word.
Now, Grant does a lot of analysis and checking the net for what everything means. I'm curious about what's your theories on things.
Well, I read most of my stuff. Can I give a plug? I don't mean not a plug, but I read a lot of stuff from darkufo.blogspot.com. And they really analyze everything.
There's
They put
a linchpin
screenshots.
of truth on the internet for 7 years. It screams veracity. Go ahead.
It's really amazing. They put screenshots for everything. They record the whispers in the woods and analyze them. Yeah, there's whispers every time. Like people are in the woods, you hear these background noises.
Every time
they analyze them and they'll figure out what people are actually saying. It's like stuff like run and hide, and they're coming, and you hear voices of Walt all the time in the woods.
It's David Lynch. He's hiding.
Wow.
This was my idea first.
Oh, that would be awesome if Laura Palmer was to show up somewhere out there on the island of Lost.
One of the most interesting things, I think, is the relationship between Ben and Locke. And I always wonder if Ben and Locke are actually related, like some sort of
That's my
Cain
theory.
and Abel
Yes, that's
type
Dude,
relationship.
Yeah, that's totally mine. Yeah. Ben and Locke, they're brothers. They're Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
All right. I want to go back to the first episode, talking about it wasn't the first episode, but it was in the first season, and they find when they find the cave with the water supply. Remember that in the first season, and there are bodies in there.
Adam and Eve of the
Well, the
cave.
bodies have little Othello.
white.
They have
Black and
little
white stone.
Othello. They were playing Othello.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's backgammon.
Well, it's been a theme
was it?
throughout the show of the black and white.
Was it backgammon or?
Yeah, they
think
had two little
Yeah.
statues, I think, or two
Yeah.
little figurines.
I
The
thought
black
they
and
had-
the white one.
Okay.
That were sitting with them.
So I'm thinking it's actually that actually is people from the island.
There seems to
That
be some, some
cast
theme
members
about-
that we know as viewers.
Well,
I
okay.
think that's their bodies.
I don't want to spoil things too much for anyone who hasn't seen the show, but let's just say that The show is not spatially, chronologically, I wouldn't say reliable, but
Stable.
stable. It's not chronologically stable. Thank you, Leon. And yeah, you're right, Jason. It could be almost anything at that point. For all we know, the people in that cave are the people who discovered the bodies in that cave. You know.
Yeah, that's immediately what I thought when I was watching it. And then these most recent seasons, the most recent episodes in this season, season 4, have really kind of solidified that, in my opinion.
Are you caught up? Because last time I talked to you, you were like way behind.
No. I'm caught up.
Okay, all right. So no, I mean, was this like not? I mean, the third season finale was great, but this was like,
Yeah.
wow. We got to wait till
was.
January.
Well, it
for
killed me
resolution.
because there were people going like, well, it was just like all the other ones. They just asked a bunch of questions, didn't answer anything. And I'm like, what did you see?
Yeah.
Because I saw them answer so much stuff, it was almost anticlimactic until the end when you went,
Yeah. Now, not only did they answer a lot of questions that had been there since the beginning, but every question they posed this season pretty much was answered by the end of it. Yeah. It was like, in and of itself, this was a complete season. It was really like, hey, here's a new question, and you're like, great.
Well, the
this
way
one's
they
been
answer
answered.
everything is very organic.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you don't really feel the payoff. I think that if you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah, they did resolve that. But there's no – a lot of times I don't think there's a dun-dun-dun moment, you know.
Yeah.
okay, season finale aside, best episode of the 4th season.
Oh,
Saeed as the
Desmond.
assassin?
No, it's
Desmond
definitely
traveling.
Desmond and Penny and
Yeah.
the
that was good.
Constant.
Saeed,
episode.
second best, but yeah, the Constant episode was like one of my favorite episodes of television.
That was good.
I just loved it so
I
much.
think my favorite one of the season was the last one because Sawyer was just such a dislikable bastard, and then he's really starting to shape up to be this real hero.
But that's
you
what
know?
they always do with
That's
Sawyer.
one of the amazing things they did with Sawyer's character is they transformed him from some despicable schmuck who doesn't give a shit about anyone else.
But he's-
and suddenly
He's the Han Solo of the
Yeah,
show.
and
Yeah,
he's really.
caring about
I just like it how he's really protective of Hurley, but doesn't really show it. And
Claire, he goes and rescues her, whether
Yeah.
or not she's alive.
yeah, right.
Well, that's what this show has been about. Like, even like I said in the first season, I remember spending the first 3/4 of the first season hating the character Jen. Oh, great. Here's this guy
Oh, I know,
who's fucking
right?
mean and abusive to his wife, and fuck him. And then you see his backstory.
That's not a reason to hate
And I
anyone.
just cried. I was like, oh my God, he's my favorite character now. This poor dude.
Oh man, yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That guy Jen
Without
is
without
amazing,
spoiling
and
anything.
Hopefully he's back for the next season. I don't know if that's giving away too much.
He
He has to. be.
there's
He's
no
the-
way
He got a DUI.
he did not.
He did
Shut
too.
up. Did he really?
He was the last actor who got a DUI.
Damn it,
But
what
he
are
is
they thinking?
absolutely-
Maybe that's how you quit the show.
Maybe so. And it's one of those things like, hey, look, you're a actor who has a steady gig on a hot TV show, living in Hawaii. And,
Here,
Yeah.
just take a drink. Go.
well, like if that's not working for you, you can't bitch to anybody about it. He'd be like, what are you, nuts?
He
Don't
probably
give that
got,
up.
Maybe he got an offer to be Kato on the Green Hornet.
I
movie
heard
with Seth Rogen.
I heard Cedric Benson was that a little too local?
Cedric Benson, who the hell is that?
Yeah, we have no idea what that's.
He plays for the plays,
football player.
plays for the Bears. Used to play for University of Texas.
Actually, talking about sports,
Dude,
Yeah,
this is a geek web show. We don't talk about sports.
we don't even
Oh,
acknowledge
there's
sports
geeks
exist.
out there.
Yeah, not on our site.
Not on our site, no.
There's nobody who's a member of our site who can throw a football.
Okay.
Sure.
So to go back to something Cyrus said about this is proof that these writers knew what they were doing all along. I have to disagree based on what I've read. Is that Ben was actually intended to be a minor character, and they decided that they liked him so much.
I heard that too.
Yeah, and this was in an interview with one of the big, like Goddard or Lindelof. Said, we just liked him so much and liked his performance and everything that we decided to give him a larger part. And now, arguably, the whole thing centers around him. So I think they've got a loose structure.
I don't know.
But they're pretty much making it up as they go along.
I think you could rewrite the decisions that they've made and the
Not
way
with
the plot
Ben.
moves along
It
with
seems
that
that-
extra character.
I don't know. I think Ben is too much of a linchpin to the whole thing at this point.
And he is amazing. He's one of the best villains on television.
Yeah.
I think they really had a whole light and dark theme that they were really playing off of since the very first episode with Locke playing Walt in backgammon, and the idea of possibly Penny's father.
Widmore.
Widmore. Yeah.
Charles
Widmore
Widmore.
versus possibly Abaddon is what I thought was initially.
Mr. Abaddon, yeah.
The big.
It kind of makes you
but now
rethink.
it's
Abaddon,
versus-
incidentally, is
is
more
now-
biblical shades.
Yeah, it kinda makes you
the
think-
angel of the pit.
They've said
from Revelation.
repeatedly, they're not all dead. This is no one's dream. They're not on another planet. They've gone all that whole, this is not like a whole, this isn't what it looks like type of thing at all. But it's hard to buy that when you've got a main character who obviously is magic or something like Mr. Abaddon, and then the other guy who is like a
Abaddon.
mortal.
I just really-
who apparently who was there for Locke's birth and is still exactly the
with
same
time-
age.
I don't think that-
Oh, you mean
dimensional time
Batman
travel
Well.
or-
Yeah.
That's Batman. That's not immortality. That's time travel. I
Yeah,
think
well,
that's what
right.
that
It
is.
might be time travel. fair
But I really want Ricardo Montalban to show up.
But what
That
what
would be
show,
awesome.
What
I
show
really
would not
do.
be improved by Ricardo
Well,
Montalban
pretty much,
showing up?
yeah. I mean, and I think, and Hervé Villachez.
Well, he's dead,
Villachez,
so probably don't want him to
dead.
show up.
Pff, speed bump. He can still be in the movie or in the show.
Santos asks, "Hey Cyrus, what did you think of Ultimates 3? I read one issue and enjoyed it, but it seemed to get a lot of crap from people, mainly because of the whole incest thing. What are your thoughts on it?"
Hated it.
Yeah.
I read that. Cyrus, I remember you telling me that you liked the first issue, so that's why I went ahead and picked it up. And I
you're
thought the
a
art was too
fucking
muddy. I couldn't
idiot.
see
Are
what
you
was going
serious?
on.
I did like the
I
first
hate
issue.
the way Loeb writes it. Like he totally never read the first 2 series.
I didn't read. Did Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch finally hook up?
Oh, they've made it like, yes, they're
Because they were obviously screwing each other from the get.
It was always one of these things that was like suggested.
I thought it was a big in joke.
And I loved how it was always suggested and always got that creepy feeling. But with Ultimates 3, they just come out and just make it plain and blatant. It's that ruins
Well,
it.
Joseph
that
Loeb
did
has-
not need to have a sledgehammer applied to it.
Joseph Loeb is totally misunderstood, and I agree with you. Now, having read up to the 3rd issue, I agree with you. This is crap. He misunderstands what worked with Millar in the original first 2 Ultimate series. Totally